This is a NERF Mega Cycloneshock from my storage unit, and this is a piece. Now, this is from Custom 3D NERF or Avery on eBay, and this is exciting because it's going to turn this revolver into a shotgun revolver. So if you look here and see kind of how this lines up, there's some exciting times coming. We're going to have to do some light shell modification, but it'll definitely be worth it. Let's get to work. So I see now why Avery printed this in white, because it looks really good compared to the rest of the Mega Blaster. That said, I've had to start making some aesthetic modifications because you can see through here that the grouping of these 3-shot bursts is not going to function with a stock like barrel system. So I went ahead and ripped off, I didn't even Dremel it off, but I ripped off the orange barrel part. I thought that would be enough, but it's definitely not quite there. So what I think I'm going to do is completely gut all of this, but I'm going to keep this support bar because I think that the support bar is a really important part, not only of where this attaches, but also just the blaster in general. I like that it adds some stability to this. So I think that what we're going to end up carving away is all of this, but maybe leave the fin coming off and down to kind of give some continuity to the shell. It's not just about being an awesome 3-dart shotgun, it's also about looking fly while doing it. So let's see what that looks like after we've played with it for a little while, and I hope it's where we want to be. Alright, so this is a full installation. This shows you exactly where I made these cuts, really beveled out this entire area. Now it is a little rough because I'm trying to work quickly, so this is done before Toy Fair so I can launch it pretty soon, but I did end up kind of skeletonizing some of this plastic, so it looks a little funny there, but in all honesty, if you're not looking for it, you don't really see it. So internals have standard lock removals. The AR has of course been completely blown out of this blaster, but I think that it's going to work really, really nicely. All that's left is to unbutterfly it, what do you call that, caterpillaring a blaster, and then lock it down, get it back into tip-top shape, and we'll fire it outside for you. So here we have it. This is a Mega Cycloneshock shotgun, shooting mega darts, hitting pretty hard, but not super duper hard. You are taking all of the velocity used to fire a mega dart and firing 3 of these instead. Now, one thing that I've noticed about this kit is due to slight inconsistencies in the 3D printed barrels, as well as the fact that not all darts have the same outer diameter. Occasionally you'll get 2 firing instead of 1, just because like one of the darts is too tight, so it holds back pressure, and the other 2 fire a little bit harder. That's not really a problem since you're already like shotgun spreading with the blaster, but it's an interesting feature, something worth mentioning. Doesn't always necessarily shoot 3 at the same time, but that's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to shoot massive spreads, a lot of darts very quickly, should you desire that, in a pattern that's reasonably consistent. So, I mean, just hats off to Avery for this part. It fit very well. It required no sanding or finishing on my part. And, I mean, you could brass this if you really wanted to, but I don't think that it's necessary. It works very well as it is. I still remember a year ago when Avery was making, like, 3D printed sights, and now he's making, like, fully fledged, change the dynamics of blasters things. Like, between this and the Apollo kit, I'm just very, very impressed. I think that Custom 3D NERF is on fire, frankly, but we'll fire it a few times for you. So there's a 3-dart spread, getting actual elite performance, which is insane. There's another 3-dart spread, but you can see that 2 of them fell back because they fired a little bit late, and the other one flew harder. So a little bit of variations, but like here's 1 spread, 2 spreads. Like, what a great blaster for humans versus zombies. This would make a sick sidearm. Like, say your flywheel jams on you and you just have 18 darts in reserve in spreads that can hit zombies who dodge and roll. Like, that was a perfect cylinder just without even thinking about it, and I'm just very, very impressed with this blaster. Now, if you are going to do it, I do highly suggest you follow my Cycloneshock modification guide, not just for the power, but also because now there's no AR in this blaster. It works much smoother without the air restrictor, which means you want to be able to deprime it. It's a little thing, but it changes the longevity of your blaster in a very real fashion. Longevity, longevity, longevity. English is tough sometimes, guys. I don't know what to tell you, but that is the Mega Cycloneshock Cyclone Shotgun? Cyclone Shotgun, that's what we're going to call this one. and it's spicy times. Feel free to check out the part itself. You can purchase it on Avery's eBay store down in the description box below, and if you do want to pick one up, keep in mind that the guy only has 3 printers, so sometimes it's not in stock, sometimes it is. So if it's not in stock when you're watching this video, when you check it out specifically, be sure to circle back in like 3 days, maybe a week, and it should be in stock. I know he has to rotate his inventory due to machining limitations, but super simple like concept made very simple for modders by this one new turret. Like, you could spend a very long time trying to like custom rig something like this out of, I don't know, sledgefire shells, I guess, or just make it out of CPVC or brass, but this is lightweight, consistent, dropped right into place, and works like a breeze. So I really like this kit. I think that it's sweet. I recommend making the cuts here and here so that it almost doesn't look modified. Now, it's definitely modified in that the cylinder is half the original length, but it's much subtler when you don't just like chop this completely, and you can see that there's plenty of clearance for these bursts to fly through that. So definitely a lot of fun, definitely worth checking out. Thank you very much for watching. This video is going live while I'm in Toy Fair, so I want to do just one last huge thank you to you guys for supporting the channel, supporting me on Patreon, and watching the vlogs, because without it the Toy Fair adventure would not be possible, and I really appreciate that. So hats off to you guys. Enjoy your weekend.